This is another diary video. This is the 20th of October, 2013. Um, Again, I'm going to give you a little background to start off with. My father is King Edward VIII, the real King Edward, not the double that was used to abdicate and allow George the Sixth, my uncle, to steal the government and a illegal title from my father, Edward VIII. My father, King Edward VIII, was legitimately, legally married to Claudia Ruth O'Keefe, Windsor, an American Catholic, and again, part of the Windsor family didn't like that. She was a commoner. But the other part was that my uncle became a co-conspirator, George the Sixth, with the Roosevelts, Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Bilderbergers, and an offshoot of that came in early 71, the Watergate tapes, and I'll tell you what was on there. Was Henry Kissinger, and they were going to lobotomize me at College Park in a clinic where Gonzalez, a so-called doctor, had drugged me and taken me if my family didn't follow through with whatever ransom was demanded. They did. I lived to die another day. April the 1st of 80, April Fool Day, that's what this has been to everybody. The Americans and my family that joined forces with the New World Order. It's been a joke to do it to me, and to my father, and to the British, and to the Germans. So that's what's on the Watergate tapes, and I put this on previous tapes that can go back and check if anyone cares. Now that I'm going to show you my father, I'm going to show you George the Sixth, his brother. Some brother, huh? The movie was made about him, The King's Speech, which made out a cold-blooded killer, a traitor who sold out his country, brother, helped kidnap the real monarch, me, Victoria II, and bring me to Moulton, Alabama in 41, where I was given the name of a dead twin, Peggy and Dempsey. I married a Childers. Carl was the twin to Peggy. Both of them had been murdered by their mother. They were illegitimate, and back in that time, it was really a bad thing to be unwed. So I'm going to show you the pictures here, and I'm going to say that part of this dealt with, before I found out about being kidnapped and my real name, was the fact that I wrote a medical malpractice book in 77, 78. I had worked for doctors, and I wrote about mind control, and it's used to program, and in programming, you can program people to do anything. It's a myth that you can't be made to do things that you don't want to. That's a total lie and misconception and myth. But anyway, the mind control murders, I wrote about those and how it's the Tesla for back in the 30 information that was stolen. You can cure an illness or create it, so I'll leave it at that. That's why Warren and Rosina Matthews, the pathologists, were murdered. So I'm going to show you some pictures, and in it is Caroline Kennedy. Now, I've been putting on here that Obama has her up for ambassador to Japan. Well, she was confirmed yesterday or the day before. Now that her father and her family continued after I was kidnapped with what their father, Joe Kennedy, helped start. He helped my uncle in the New World Order, the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, kidnap me and bring me to Moulton, Alabama, and give me another name and hold me ransom for whatever they could milk out of the British or my family. So now then, I've been telling that, and she's been confirmed. And I'm going to show you a picture. JFK, the reason they won't tell about it is mind control was used in that. But the cover-up was because if they told the truth about it, it would lead back to telling about what my kidnapping and drove this myth that the United States is the good guy is a total lie. I don't think if people saw Well, the United States was using mind control in kidnapping and torture of a monarch while they've installed their own, Elizabeth and her father, who are part of the New World Order that's in place now, along with Obama. Um, so, to tell the truth about the Kennedy, and I'm going to go ahead and say it, the Martin Luther King, there was programming done in that. Now, King, these people entered into together, into a conspiracy together. You had the Jewish back then that the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Bilderbergers, Kissinger. You've got Martin Luther King, Andrew Young, who was appointed ambassador to the UN by Carter, Jimmy Carter. You had them join forces in taking over South Africa. So it's the best interest to never tell about me and what's been done and being done to me and my children, wherever they are. They're the legal heirs after me. South Africa, Rhodesia, the colonies, all the British colonies are gone now. They belong to the United States, most of them. Australia has had the United States infiltrate, and you got Bechtel, you've got Area 51 there. Anything British is covered by the United States. They control it. They kidnapped me, and God help me should this ever end the right way. Now I'm going to show you these pictures, and by the way, Obama is, he said in a taped interview not long ago that the New World Order was in place, and that's on YouTube and on Facebook. So I'm going to show you these mind control murders and just some pictures, and you can put them together. And I want to say this real quick. Trayvon Martin, when he was shot, there was no problem in the marches and the, real quick, Obama and, I got to look, I know his name, but I got to look at it right at the moment because I'm not having a very good time myself. He's talking about Zimmerman. It's the Attorney General, Eric Holder. Oh, thank you for letting me remember that. Okay, so they had no problem coming to bat for Martin and calling Zimmerman names. Zimmerman, by the way, that's a mind control one there. And if the truth ever told, the very fact, after fact, of how George Zimmerman is acting proves what I'm saying, but it's proven through patterns, really. But he's a mind control victim. But again, I have been begging and pleading. I'm 74, almost 75 years old. I've been tortured in this country, had laws broken, kidnapped, can't even use my own name. And now then, as a slap in the face, Caroline Kennedy has been confirmed as ambassador to Japan. So without trying to go further, I've told it in previous days, I'm going to show these pictures. And I don't know, I used to think one day that maybe the truth would be told, but not unless the British are able to tell it, or I'm going to bring God into this again. Everybody believes in God. What part of the Ten Commandments did they not understand when they were doing this to me on a daily basis? Terrorizing, kidnapping, hey, lobotomizing you, and also doing it with antifreeze, and I could go on and on. This has been my life. The fact that I've even survived this long is something. But I'm going to show you the pictures. Here's the double. That's my father, the real King Edward VIII, and here's dear little William and Kate and baby George, named after my uncle, George VI, that had kidnapped me, take out his own brother. He's a traitor to the British, and Roosevelt. In 39, the year I was born. The next year I was 41, I was kidnapped brought to this country and given another name. Now, here's George. You all know Elizabeth. Here's Caroline Kennedy, Obama, and about her father, JFK, and then Zimmerman, comments made by the Attorney General Holder. So I'm going to end this here. I had written about mind control way back then, way back in the early 70s. I started telling it, and it's done in patterns. So it was meant to be done and to be told. And the agency doing it, quite frankly, people are afraid of, and none of them really care about me. It's been a joke what was done to me. If they could kidnap the monarch, me, and bring me over here and torture me. And they are offended when I show them proof. They won't even listen to it. They'd like to have me locked up and just vanish. Um, would destroy their myth about freedom. They've been free to run amok and go to other countries and take them down and pretend that they're the good guys. I'm the one and my father, they can't explain if the truth's told.